All right, folks, we are live. And if you're wondering why my hands are up, it's because I'm pushing buttons and April's here, and that's what she does. So thank you, my friend, April Wyatt. We always miss you when you are gone. How are you doing? And what's the update? Cut right to the Bali retreat. This thing is
Oh,
buzz around
yeah.
town.
It's so good to be back here
Mm.
with you, Mike, and everyone else. So, this Bali retreat is um, coming up in October 10th through the 17th. We just have a few spots left. This is me and my team to support those who are professionals who want to move past just the weekend workshops or self help books and want to go a little deeper into breath work, into different experiences to kind of shake things up. And so that way you can pause and rise above the noise. So that's coming up. There's a QR code there. Please DM me if you have any questions whatsoever. And the next big thing I have with Eco Sam and Kindness Worldwide is the upcoming Kindness Worldwide Global Meditation. So we have this on May 31st. It's a live, wonderful space to pause and just receive kindness, send kindness to others. And it's a great event. We had 40 people last time, and so we're looking to building that. So please share. People can definitely share about this event and keep it going. Let's keep the ripple of kindness going, as Kevin has done so well at.
Yes, ma'am. And I went to it. Amazing. Of course it was. I mean, I had knew it would be, but great job on that. And it's for everyone. But if you're juggling a million balls, wearing a million hats, business, mom, dads, all kind of stuff, this one's for you, right? I changed my tune when I found out like Olympic athletes, champions. This is essential, and I'm finally practicing it. So I appreciate you all, and also not to throw too much at once, but we also have the private viewing of the documentary film for such a time as this of Kindness Worldwide. So we're going to be doing that in the next few weeks. Check out the YouTube channel. I'll post it there. Also on LinkedIn. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and run the intro. I'm going to give a couple shouts. We're going to bring on Jennifer Thompson. And Bruce had something come up, but he will be here shortly, folks. So we're going to get at it. Share it with your friends. Let's do it. Ready?
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashabraner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
All right, folks. Well, this show is going to be, it's one of my favorites. I found out a lot of these things that we're going to share with you today the hard way. All right. So before I go into the sponsor and who brought this show to you, listen, everybody wants authority and they want it now, right? And that's exactly why the market is flooded with shortcuts, right? And there's good-hearted people on both sides. But what I have found over and over again is folks don't know what questions to ask. If you don't know what question to ask, it's really not up to the other person a lot of times to do it, or they can't read your mind. So when we get into entrepreneurship or we're scaling up, there's just a whole new arena, a whole new ball game that we're just not familiar with. So today's show, definitely share it because a lot of people are doing this, and we just want to arm you with what you need to know so you can make a wise or unwise decision, right? Because honestly, I found out the hard way years ago. Visibility that looks good on graphic doesn't always convert, especially convert to trust and revenue. So we're going to make this very practical, right? Questions to ask, the right order to do them in, and how to build authority that actually compounds. So this show tonight, let me get it. April, I'll do this. I keep doing this because I keep pushing buttons. She's training me again, y'all. So today's show is brought to you by Greg Moore, the one and only franchise maven. He is as brilliant and heart-centered in the world of franchising. Folks who are starting businesses, trying to figure out, should I start my own? Should I get a proven system? and how to avoid all the catastrophe that could happen if you, again, don't know the right questions. So thank you, Mr. Greg. You are a champion, and you are just a great dude. He makes me look good when I connect him with people because he'll help them if he can, and he'll tell them no if it's the right answer. Thank you, Greg. You're all integrity, brother. And real quick, Phil Tetrud. I finally got that right. Phil, thank you for helping me. Amazing guy, and been a hound and a friend of mine for a long time. New supporter. So want to make sure that folks go to rapidgrowthservices.com. This guy is absolutely amazing, and we appreciate the real conversations you're bringing. So here's what, am I still on? It just glitched on my end. Am I good? Nope, I'm good. Okay, well, everybody now thinks I am losing my mind. Not rap, just been a big day. All right, so let's bring her on. We wait for, let's go ahead and bring Jennifer Thompson on. How are
Hello,
you?
beautiful people. Thank you for having me, Mike.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding? Look, somebody must be brand new if they don't know you already. So go ahead and give us the short version. Who are you? What do you do? Tell them about your sister. Don't forget her. She's in Belgium. So
She is in Belgium, so she is already in bed sleeping. She's 6 hours ahead. I am Jennifer Thompson, the editor-in-chief and co-founder of I Am Magazine, a digital magazine for personal development that is distributed worldwide. And we believe your story matters, and that's what we're all about. Jade is my sister, partner in crime, CEO and founder of I Am Magazine, and I hope you guys get to meet her pretty soon. Maybe we'll do an earlier show so she can be part of the fun and get to meet everybody.
We're just going to fly her out, I guess, and get her other times. She is absolutely amazing, and usually sometimes we try to get her to do a video, show a video. She is just such a good-hearted person, and you ladies work so hard. It's that iceberg effect, right? Below the surface, there's so much going on. So let's get down to it. I want folks to walk away with this and get something out of it, because so many people have been doing this for the last couple of years. And once you right, once you have clarity, internal, external, a man called it pre-branding. I thought that. He called it pre-branding. So I internal, external. A man called it pre-branding. I thought that. He called it pre-branding. So
you are frozen.
Yeah, I didn't mean to pull you up. Am I frozen, April?
There we go. I think we're having a little problem with the internet, but hold on. We'll get it together.
How about now? Am I still frozen? No. Oh, no.
No, internet problems, technology. What can we do? I know that he will be back real closely, and I just want you guys to hold on tight because this is a conversation that is going to be great.
It's going to be amazing, and it's because you're here, Jennifer, and we have Royce in the audience. And I don't know who LinkedIn user is. If you can say who you are, we'd greatly appreciate it, because for some reason your name isn't showing up. So all these gremlin glitches happening here, but this is what we are experiencing in life anyway, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, Jennifer. So just a little bit about, I might be jumping ahead of the game, but I'm really curious about this anthology. If you could just give us a little taste of what that is while Mike is coming back.
Absolutely. Well, we decided to do an anthology, and I know a lot of people are doing anthologies, but this is a different type of anthology. First of all, we wanted to have a book that has a collection of stories of people that have gone through that messy middle and have made the decision to become who they are today. Because let's make it real. I mean, becoming is not a destination. It is a decision. So when we're going through life, up and downs, those life quakes that we encounter, we have the choice to drown in, dwell on that moment and not move forward, or we have the choice to make the decision to move forward. And this is what this book is about. So all these stories are individual stories about that messy middle, those life quakes, and what took them to make the decision to move forward and how they process that decision to move forward. But one of the things that makes this anthology different is that every single chapter is going to have a reflection at the end, an action, something that the reader can take and act upon. And the reason we do this is because we all learn in different ways. But the truth of the matter is that until we take action, we don't remember the lesson. And that's why sometimes people keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. It's because they have not applied that knowledge that they've received.
It is so true. I love that. And we need other people's, perspectives in order for us to see past our own challenges.
Yes.
This is the becoming, of course.
Becoming is a destination. It's not a decision. You have to work through the journey. You have to acknowledge your feelings. If it's despair, if it's love, if it's loss, whatever it is, you have to acknowledge those things and then make a decision to change the way you feel about them, make a decision making the way you think about societal expectations or your old beliefs before you can move forward with the change. And when you make the decision, it's like the world opens up and you are able to move to the next step. And that doesn't mean that you have arrived, because life is up and downs. You're always growing. The next lesson, the next obstacle is a growing opportunity. You don't stay there. We have multiple growing spurs. Just like when you're a kid, you have growing spurs. So you are content on this area, and then some big thing happens, and then you have to rework everything that you're thinking about to move on to the next level of growth. And that's what we want to do with this anthology. Let people that know that it's okay to permit themselves to go through the process and trust the feelings and be honest with themselves and take an action, do something that will take you to the next level. So that's the anthology. We're very excited. We have it's for 20 authors. We only have 3 spots left. So if you are
all those are watching right now, we know somebody who's been talking about writing a book or has a little chapter to share, reach out to Jennifer. I'm serious. It's an amazing opportunity to be able to write with fellow authors. Also, I want to bring into, you said something about growing, which is really important. And I think that's something that is a key tonight for the theme is, why are people buying visibility and still not growing? Can you answer that?
Well, visibility without a conversion structure it's just noise with better lighting. So you have to know people aren't failing at being seen. We have social media, we have all these things, we have podcasts, we are all jumping in to be seen, but they're failing at turning the being seen into momentum. So you can buy attention. There's no doubt. You can be everywhere. You can even buy a little credibility, but you can't outsource clarity or positioning or trust building. Those are parts that you have to earn in sequence. It doesn't just, ta-da, here I am, I'm going to pay for it and it's mine. It's a process.
Yes, I think you brought a very good point there. It's so important for people to understand that about growth. You can buy all the things, but are you really growing with it? Or are you just throwing things up there? And speaking of growth, here is Mike. Just came back. It looks like you're running on more than 5G here. You're not glitchy. Good? You're good. Yes, you're good. So,
oh my goodness.
Thank you so much for everyone for holding space for us as we're working out the bugs, and I'll see you in a bit.
Oh, you're a super pro. I was hoping she'd stay. I thought about grabbing a Snickers and just letting her go, but I don't know.
We are here. We are ready, and let's rumble.
Okay, I'm not seeing all the comments, but hey, we'll go back in the replay. Thank you for commenting and showing up today. So where did we leave? Where did we left off? Did April talk about visibility, importance of?
We were just getting into the conversion structure and why visibility sometimes does not convert properly.
Yeah, well, okay. Hopefully I'm not like a parrot repeating April. Um, but see, I had is this so? Have you got a chance to share the magazine? Because that's where I want to start. I got connected with you and Supermom, right? It
That's correct.
Supermom connected me with you and your sister Jay, because I can't say her name, even though it's not that hard. Um, and it was like PB and J in the same jar. And I had done previous, the only really like authorship type of thing I had done before I met you ladies in your magazine was CJ, Dr. Constance Leland, Level Up Academy. And both times I got in it and we got international bestseller, which was nice, right? Met a lot of great people. And then it ended up being in academia. To this day, I still light up. I'm like, yeah, redneckism is in academia, right? It's in a bookstore or college. And so, but it, it for me, it was trust. After the fact, I really didn't understand, how well I got it, right? So, what's the importance? Because when we think of marketing nowadays, we think of more noise, we think of more get out there, be visible, be louder than the next person, clickbait
Mhm.
this, do that. And I'm not saying that it's totally wrong, folks. I'm saying most people that watch us, right, that engage with the Hounds, we're business people and we need business stuff, right? And a lot of those stuff, if we use tactics that don't fit us as business people with authority, it erodes authority, right?
And
So
trust.
exactly. So tell us a little bit about, magazine in general, why you ladies decided to make one, because then you made a men's magazine and I want people to know that one. And then we got involved and now you have an anthology. But why did you do it short version? And then why is it so beneficial? Because you have a waiting list of folks in this magazine, right? So tell the folks out there who are running businesses. Look, Eco Sam's here, right? So she's got a business that helps feed the nonprofit, vice versa. How does it help entrepreneurs, coaches, guides, experts, business folks in general?
When we started I Am Magazine, it was at the beginning of the pandemic. Things were being canceled, we were being shut down. The message of personal growth and advancements was getting lost. Really, everybody was so scared. You were trapped in your home, and we were looking for a way that we could still reach people in their living rooms. And this seems like the most uh, outreach to a better outreach to people all over the world, where they can read stories that inspire them, empower them, and transform them into a better version of themselves. So we started with the idea of a personal development, and we decided, okay, what inspires people the most? What makes that person say, if that person can do it, so can I? And it's stories.
Yeah.
People know brands, but it's stories that they remember. These inspirational stories that give you the permission to be yourself, permission to say, I have flaws, or I have been encased in a box that doesn't fit me anymore. It's time for me to expand my wings and grow into something else. So this was the purpose of I Am Magazine. We decided to give the opportunities to contributors to come into the magazine and share their stories, share their knowledge, all of them professionals. And they are writers that write for a whole year. They commit for 12 months of articles, and each article is always better than the last one. And they connect with other people worldwide. We put their links there. They're able to connect with them. But then the nice thing is that these readers are receiving the magazine for free. They don't have to pay for a subscription. And that's why we have grown so fast. Everybody shares the magazine.
Yeah, it's digital. And
it's a digital magazine. All you need is internet connection. That's it.
Absolutely. And what I love most about what you and then Bruce, right, the podcast, it's inbound, it's attracting, right? There is no like I got to go out and send 5 million emails and hope two people, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's just not our style and there's more efficient ways. And that's why we're doing the show. So when you put the right person puts the right article in the right place, the right people read it, right? It's like going to a restaurant. If it's a Mexican restaurant, yeah, there's burritos. If I saw an egg roll there, I might go, what is that? So in other words, you ladies are very intentional, and I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and bring Bruce up, because then I want to get into the men's, because that's where the fun starts. That's where we go Hounds wild on it. But hey, Mr. Bruce, how are you?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're making a live show, man. I got kicked off, and April showed up, and here you are. So hey, that's the joy of live streaming. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm just delightful.
There you go. Yes, sir. You and the purple everything, purple Bruce,
Yeah.
Purple Buffalo. So we were talking with Jennifer, because I really want people to get this, Bruce. We were talking about how I'm glad to see people saying, look, I want to build real authority. Don't want to post kitty meme videos for attention. I want to stand out to the right audience. I want to share good information, who I am, as well as what I do. And that's where I am is amazing, right? And we're going to dive into the men's division, because I thought that was amazing. But now we're going to go to another way to do it. And it's not one or the other. Do both, ideally. You might start with one, then go to another. But anytime you can put something out of value that people can read, look at, watch, and go, yeah, I like that. I want to know more, right? I teach marketing and dating, right, Bruce? We talk about this on the podcast all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So let the folks know who you are, kind of your 30-second backdrop. And then
Sure.
I like for you to go, I'm going to put you on the spot, man.
Hey, man.
Why'd you reach out with me about this? Go for it.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. It's really great to see everybody, and really, really awesome to spend the evening talking to both of you. I think these type of conversations are so very, very important, and I don't think enough people have these conversations. I don't think that enough people are really willing to put themselves out there, to lay themselves bare, to be vulnerable, and it's really great to have this type of venue and this type of outlet. That being said, everybody, and I apologize when I'm on these podcasts and the camera's not directly in the line of the screen here. That does a lot better. So who am I? My name is Bruce Silverman. I have been a broadcaster for 38 years. I've been in the business for 38 years. I've done everything in the business: radio, television, streaming, talk show host, anchor, reporter, podcaster. And I tell you all of that because my company, Purple Buffalo, is a company that creates podcast and content libraries to help businesses and individuals, athletes, sports teams, entertainers, content creators, influencers tell their story. Everybody has a story. And, I Am Magazine has a story, and the man with the hat has a story. And when you're willing to tell that story, especially with the backdrop of AI and things not being authentic, if more people were authentic, they're going to stand out. If you look at social media all the time, you see all of these videos, and you know that they were done by a computer. You know that they had been done by an app. And, some people are into that. I'm not one of those guys. I love AI. I use it every day. It is an incredibly important part of my business. But I would never do an AI podcast. How many people out there have seen, hey, we'll clone your voice, we'll clone your face, and you don't have to create any content. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. So why fake it? Be real, be authentic. Purple Buffalo, our slogan, be fearless, be authentic. What's the other one? I'm so riled up in this. Be real. Dude,
you've had a busy week.
Be authentic. Tell your story. There's something else there. I'll look at it while you guys are talking, and I'll jump in and share.
Your story matters.
I ran from one meeting into this podcast, and sometimes when you do that, collecting your thoughts. Hey, man, I'm laying it bare, and I'm being authentic, and I'm being fearless, and I can admit when I can't even remember my own slogan.
That's okay. and that if anything, all of us encourage people I don't know who said you had to be perfect, but I don't believe it.
Not
And
such
so,
a thing.
well, and here's the fun part. Authenticity. Let me kick that to you because that really has something to do with it. Whether it's AI or
Sorry.
it's all right. And people not feeling like they're able to be themselves. You talking about authenticity. So what I see in your magazine is unfiltered 100% authenticity. So for 2 points, do your clients and the folks in the magazine, do they feel, as a whole, are they coming in like, hey, I get to be my real authentic self, tell my real story? Or do you have to go, hey, let me help you tell your real story? Do people, in your estimation, a lot of times have the inclination to polish first? Because I see that a lot. But
Absolutely. They come in and they think that we are going to supply them with a list of questions for them to answer and for us to control the narrative. It's called I am for a reason. We have a very particular way of letting you share your story and you control your narrative. Nobody knows your story better than you are.
Yeah.
And nobody can, a series of questions is not going to determine who you are. So we absolutely give you a little guidance on how to create your story, but it is your story. We want you to control the narrative of your own story. And that's the way we work. We honor who you are.
You really do, because myself and I don't know what 80% of the Hounds are contributors in the men's magazine. And let me say it because I'm going to spoil it. I've said, wow, men's division, that makes sense, right? And I'll let you tell us what the acronym is. But I thought, wow. And then you told me, I said, well, why are they doing a men's magazine? And what was it? 49% of the readers were men. Think about it. I believe that off the spot, Bruce. I said, yeah, we're over here sneaking in and reading our girlfriends' magazines and wives' magazine because we don't have one for ourselves. Like, there's
we used to. It was called Playboy. And
oh my goodness, I knew he was going there, dude.
No, but you know what? But you know what? I make that joke, and I know a lot of people. I have no idea what Playboy looks like anymore. They stopped making paper, and then they went online, and now I heard they're back on paper. You know what was really interesting about Playboy? Everybody made a big deal about the nudity. But if you ever really picked up a Playboy magazine, the structure was there were basically 3 pictorials in a 150 page magazine. And the rest of the magazine was about men's life, men's lifestyle, things that men are into, women's perspective, some funny cartoons, and more. Some of the greatest writers of the last century were published in Playboy magazine. John Updike, Leroy Neiman, who did these amazing paintings, and everybody got hung up on the nudity. But the magazine really wasn't about nudity. It was about celebrating life. It was about being authentic. It was about realizing that in the nudity, that a woman's body was beautiful. And then, like, I will admit, I looked at the pictures, but I also loved most of the interviews. Those are incredible. The people that were interviewed, presidents were interviewed while they were in office in that magazine. And then you'd have these amazing essays. And we don't have that outlet anymore. Yeah, it's on the internet, but reading things on the internet is not the same thing as holding a physical object.
Well, first of all, I've learned a lot over the years, so I'll plead the fifth. I don't like to read. I like to learn, don't like to read. However, I do remember my uncle saying that, and I thought it was hogwash. However, first of all, I Am Magazine is G-rated, so don't worry. And but in the men's division, to your point, Bruce, that is exactly what I liked about it. Because if I sit down and read a real thoughtful magazine or something, it's not the coolest thing. You don't have to be a Southern guy to, there's machismo, right? Especially in the U.S. And I really appreciated the fact that real men brought real stories and real dialogue. That was it. And that's the overlap. So the men's division has blown up. we have Kevin Smith, we have Kenneth, right? There's so many people. And we went wild on that, right? So on the magazine, what made you go to the next level? So obviously you had success with the magazine, but you wanted to give more. So once people realized authenticity was awesome and they loved what you had to do, the right people were reading it, because you have hundreds of thousands of readers a month. What prompted you to go, yeah, let's add a book. Let's go add an anthology. What was that about?
We had participated in several anthologies. We had been invited to participate in several anthologies, and we have. And in the process of doing this, we learned a lot of things. You know, when you're new to something, you tend to stumble into sometimes situations that you realize they're not very comfortable. Yeah. And we understood that there is the right way to do an anthology and there's a wrong way to do an anthology. Hey!
Imagine that.
And we decided to create this anthology, but give it 100% of the support that other anthologies don't give it. So from the beginning, we wanted to make it not only a story of lived transformation, but also a story that had a lesson, an action at the time, a reflection. At the end of each story, there's going to be a reflection. There's going to be an action. There's going to be a tool for you to move from becoming, because becoming is not a destination, to a decision to make that change. So each story is unique. Each story is going to be very emotionally driven, but also it has a lesson, an action at the end that you can apply. And like I was telling April earlier, is we don't learn until we apply that lesson. And that's what we want to make this into a toolbox per se. Well, but we're not only doing that, Mike, we are providing them with proper coaching so the people that are inside of this anthology are able to know how to use this anthology to their advantage, how to use it to open doors, how to market it, how to use it in their own website, how to monetize it in their own website and keep their own royalties, how to, we'll do podcasts. We have lined up a bunch of different tools. We have we're building an area on our website where all the authors are going to be there, where you can click on their biography, where you can click on the links and connect with them. We are definitely putting an ecosystem together. We're just not saying thank you very much and here you go, and we will not hear from you anymore.
It leads to something.
Exactly. It's going to be a whole ecosystem of support for anybody that comes into this project.
And that's not a marketing slogan. That is the truth. I mean, honestly. Hey, Mike, you want to write a magazine? I should read before I start writing. I mean, that's what I told CJ. But you ladies, yeah, I'm not joking. That's why it's funny. But you ladies did. You got it, and you guided. You didn't tell me what to do, like you said earlier. And that's the problem, because I don't want to put something out there so polished and so good. People go, there's no way the redneck wrote that, right? But I also don't want to put out a hunk of garbage, right? And so I wanted to match who I am and what it is. And it reminds me of the Oprah format. That's going to bring me to Bruce, because I studied it. I said, what kind of formats are out there that could be, helpful for me, where I can get my message across and feel good. And at first it was guys like Rogan and, and I said, that's too much for me. That's too much, man or whatever. And then I looked, I swear, y'all, I'm spilling the beans. April smiled backstage. I watched Oprah. Oprah came on and I went, that's it. Now, I'm not getting in the weeds, but seriously, for 25 years, the lady knew what she was doing, right? And I thought about that. And if you look at it, Jennifer, very similar principle, right, as what we're talking to. Hey, check this person out. Let's find out what their story is, what they're all about, why they wrote the book, how they want to share it. And then the audience went, oh, that can help me solve my problem. I looked at that and said, that makes sense, because the audience that that would watch us, the person I am, that is the person that wants to attract. Like, I'm not just in business to make money. Nothing wrong with it. I'm in business to make an impact and help other people not struggle like I did in certain areas, right? Room, clarity, etc. So with that note, because I want to make sure we lay this out soon, and we'll get back to it. The questions that people need to ask and be aware of, because you're right. You can get in trouble. You can lose rights and all kind of goofy things. So number one, it was trust. That's why I work with you. I trusted Supermom, trusted you quickly, and everybody else came on board because I trusted you, because everybody else trusted you, and we were right. But it's also good to do due diligence, right? Ask the right questions. So, Bruce,
Yes.
that leads me to you, my friend.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I liked you. Here's why. There's a lot of folks out there doing podcasts, producing their own, that also have professional podcasts. And I learned this from you. You know, influencers who already are popular just because somebody liked what they said, they just kept being themselves, but they don't have a way to monetize that or to hone it in, right?
Yeah.
And then number two, this is the one that really our audience hits on, is they want to expand their authority, right? A lot of folks, I mean, we think of podcasting, you know, do sponsors, make money, but a lot of founders, CEO, even B2B players, they want to go out there and increase their authority, their visibility, and help their development teams.
Well,
right?
that's what I talk to clients and prospects about all the time. That, you know, everybody, like I said earlier, and I apologize for disappearing because I went to click on a tab and I ended up taking myself out of the program. So what happens is every person on the planet has a story. Every business has a story. And businesses will tell me all the time, we struggle to find our market. We struggle to find our audience. So I say to them, create content, create and/or a podcast, and create it to drive directly to your customer, to your audience, to who you're trying to talk to, who you're trying to sell to, who you're trying to get to like, know, and trust you. And at the end of the day, it's a choice. And if you use podcasting as it can really be a tool in business, as an individual, as a something that you can monetize, then yes, you can do all of those things. Now, you can do it by yourself, or you can hire a company.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing about that. So when you do it yourself, you find out it's a tremendous amount of work. You find out that you need to learn equipment. You need to learn software. You need to learn how to edit. You need to learn how to interview. You need to learn how to bring guests on and all of these things. And there are people out there that have the talent and the experience and the knowledge. Most people don't. And so what happens is they'll try it themselves and they'll do one, they'll do two, they'll do maybe three. And then they're like, too much work, right? Because they have lives, and doing it yourself means, you know, it's an hour to get the whole thing done. And then after that, it is, now I got to edit and I got to figure out all of these different things.
Not to derail you, Bruce, but that's it. They don't know. I didn't know. You just think you flip the camera on and start doing a podcast and everybody just throws stuff at you. It's not the case.
No,
it's a full-time job.
Yeah. And so I started this company to be completely remote, completely turnkey, cost-effective, and time efficient. There's a couple of fallacies that I've found, and everybody pretty much asks the same question every time. You know, they'll say, how long should my podcast be? And depending upon the type of podcast determines the length of time it really should be. If you are a business, if you are trying to get authority, you're trying to get like, know, and trust, and you're not looking to monetize your podcast, 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes. That's it. Get in, get out. And that way, your audience is going to take the time. They're going to start it and finish it. If
7
you go
to 10
30,
minutes.
45 minutes and you're not trying to monetize, they're not even going to start it. And if they do, 4 minutes in, boom.
Well, but here's the short answer. Go and start it yourself. I pushed the button 4 or 5 years ago at midnight, had the camera off. 30 people popped up on LinkedIn Live. I thought the camera was broken, y'all. I seriously, I said, what is going on? Then other people I knew were like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And so it naturally formed. So I am a proponent of, hey, try it out, do your best. Don't slap stuff against the wall. But if you're just brand new in business and things, but here's what I wish I did, just what Bruce said. I wish I had talked to somebody like Bruce beforehand, because
well, you have
you
now, and
jump
I'm
in.
producing. I'm producing your show, and it's a phenomenal show with really, really important conversations. And what happens whether you hire me, which I'd love for you to do, Purple Buffalo .studio, and go to Scheduler, but that's my shameless plug. But the reality of all of this is, if you really want to have an impact, work with someone that not only can push record and push stop and give you a thumb drive or drop it in a Google Drive or WeTransfer or Dropbox and then leave it to yourself.
Right.
I'm not like that. Probably 99 out of 100 podcast studios in your local area, that's what they do. You work with me, we strategize. I help you name your show. I will even co-host with you, so that this, Mike, so that when you have guests, you can, if you're not a skilled interviewer, and I've been interviewing people for 38 years, I've interviewed thousands of people, all walks of life, from famous to people, man on the street. And if you really aren't good at asking questions, but you really want to build a community and you want people to learn from you or learn from your guests or feel comfortable, you reach out to a professional that can help you. And I'll give you an example.
Real quick.
Example.
That is the common denominator of you two, is that it's more than a magazine article. It's more than just the daggum podcast or visibility. It's branding, right? You don't call it that, but hey, positioning, right?
No, but it is.
It's
when most people think of branding, they think of a logo and they think of what you do.
Right.
But most people are trying to build a personal brand. And that's the authenticity. Oh, no, it was be fearless, be authentic, and I still don't remember. I'll look it up when I'm not talking.
You put it on the wall. That's what I'd do, because I can't remember.
I usually don't have to. This is either old age or I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So, when people really want to establish that authority and they want to, look professional, and it's all about their personal brand, whether they want to make money on a podcast or they want to get on a stage or they want to be an influencer or they want to have a coaching career or whatever it is. Everybody's different. Your brand is who you are. The logo is just part of that. And
that's branding.
Yes.
Well,
it's not one is brand, the other is branding.
Well, back to the anthology on that note, because you're right. This is why I want to open this up, if you all don't mind, because I want the folks to take notes on this. That I want them to walk away and go, okay, I know the questions to ask, get clarity. So I do both, but I didn't start off with both. I didn't do books, anthologies, and magazines, right? I started off with podcasts and live streams. So what are, Jennifer, if you don't mind, what for your anthology specifically, but in general, like why do it? Like, who is a good candidate for your anthology? Because, that's what I want to focus in on. I mean, if you were talking about hamburgers, but for your anthology, is it coaches, guides, expert? Is it one man or woman show? Is it coaches? Is it B2B? Or does it matter at this point? Who is it that fits?
Everybody has a story, just like Bruce said. Everybody has a story, and everybody has lessons to share.
Right.
If you want to create an ecosystem that supports your story and that attracts the right people and that understands who you are deeply, and you're building your brand as a person, and this is something that I want to go back to what Bruce was saying. Brand is what you do with yourself, who you are yourself. Branding is your logo, your colors, your text, and all that stuff. But your brand, you can take anywhere. Today you decide, okay, you know what? I don't want to do podcast anymore. I want to sell cookies to Sam's. You are taking your brand, who you are, with you to the next business. And when you establish that brand as a reliable person, a real person, authentic person, somebody that has gone through the same struggles or similar struggles or some other else that has gone through this the becoming, this destination, this journey of growth, then people can relate to you more. You're not just branding. You're just not, the pretty picture.
Yeah,
you have consistency. You have, it's the difference between say, wow, they're everywhere, between, oh, I need to work with them.
Yeah.
I'm selling cookies. Oh, I need to work with him. I'm selling copiers. Oh, I need to work with him.
That's what I love most about what you and your sister do, right? And everybody at IM, that if you're new to business or your brand or whatever, you ladies are great at that, right? Like helping them come in like a flower. Right? The cheesiest analogy you'll hear me today. Everybody's tired. It's okay. But you all help that bloom. You really do. But here's what's impressive. I already got a brand. I've got a couple if you really break it down. And you all both were able to amplify that and rotate different aspects. So when I write an IM, it's not a lot of those, redneck connectorisms or, certain aspects. We're not talking about directly how to show up and strategize. We're talking about life stories, the why, and then some practical takeaways. On the flip side with Bruce and I, we get down. We go philosophy, strategy, and take this away and try it, right?
Yeah, but the other thing is, I feel like you should send me a hat. I mean, I'm not a redneck, but I did go to the University of Georgia.
You should wear I'll send you a fedora. You can't wear this.
Hold on. I can take care of this. Hold on.
Do you have one? Oh my goodness. What he needs to do is go find the rest of that tagline.
He's gonna bring a fishing hat.
No, he's going to go back there and get the rest of that tagline he's forgetting. That's okay. I've done it today too. See, we have fun here. That's all right.
A wig.
So, but I want to show this real quick. But this is what I love about it, because this helped me. Honestly, writing in your articles in the last couple months have really helped me do a lot of introspection. And folks listening out there, it's not about me. This is what happens when you're busy doing all the things, Jennifer, right? We're always running around, like April's always talking about accurately, is doing all the things. And it's amazing when you stop. When I have to write a magazine article, when I have to go on this guy with the hat show, right? I'm very intentional, and I stop and think. I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to talk about? What do people care about? And that's where you all excel. So if you're out there with a business, you're trying to amplify your authority and not perform, not be fake, we're all about that, right? That's the right room. So you can come in and really get to know who you are and connect with other people, and then other folks see that. And that's what's so strong about what both of you all do. Different mediums, right? Written and then audio, video. So, by the way, is that a rental or is that your hat?
Oh, rental. I go into my closet. You think I've got rentals in my closet?
I never assume anymore, man.
Especially the other hat.
Where do you wear this hat?
You know what? I haven't worn this one in so long, and I got another one. And when you guys start talking, and hold on a second. Be fearless, be authentic, be heard, which is, I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it with Purple Buffalo HERD or HEARD, but I did it HEARD. Be authentic, be fearless, be authentic, be heard, tell your story. So when you guys start talking, I'm going to go get another hat that is a very, very famous hat. And if you two can't figure out where the hat is from, I'm out.
I got $50 says probably a lampshade is not really a hat, because
nope.
No, you go do that. I'm gonna play a clip
I love
because I hope everybody goes to I Am Magazine. It's got dashes. Just Google it. It's the first thing comes up. I Am Magazine International. Go check it out. In the men's division, fire, absolute fire. I mean, I'm
fire.
partial, but they're
Absolutely.
both amazing. And you have a Spanish version, which they tell me is nice because I don't speak Spanish. I try. You give me grace, but it is phenomenal to see. And honestly, I have been bothering you lately. Here's the side benefit to this, folks. People notice. The right people notice. And I saw folks in your magazine. I'm like, I want to meet them, right? I want to, not to sell them or perform. Y'all know me. But my goodness, the story is what makes me want to meet you, right? And a lot of the hounds and folks in general are like that, right? So you could sell jelly beans right now. Literally, you could sell jelly beans. I would not care. I would help you if that was passionate for you. And oh my goodness gracious, look at this. So that came straight out of the carnival, right?
Nope.
That is from.
What the hell is happening, right? This is fun. Tell us where it's at.
I don't know where it's from.
Oh, and this is the ugliest hat I've ever seen. Oh, I bet you get a bowl of soup with this.
You put a bowl
but
of soup
it
in
looks
it.
good on you.
Oh my gosh. Me and Bruce have a lot of fun on this. Dude, let me play this clip real quick because this is fun to me. Hopefully I can hear it. This is what I'm talking about. I did not have this kind of direction and clarity until we started the podcast, and then it started evolving. And a lot of this came out of writing for the I Am Magazine men's division. No kidding, y'all. So authority building, yes. Getting visible, yes. Getting the right people to lean in so you don't have to chase around like a nutter all day on LinkedIn and social media and email, yes. But the evolution of your growth, I mean, talk to Eco Sam. I mean, my goodness, right? Like, I was there. I had the honor to work with Eco Sam. She showed me some of it. We worked through it. And to see her, I have to say, I let her speak for herself. But in my estimation, it was like a rocket ship of growth. And because these things make you think. They make you get real. And I've seen this over and over again. So here, I'm going to play this real quick and hopefully hear it. Look, I'm playing it and nobody can see it. There it is. Look, the one time I push a button, there you go.
Hey, I know that guy.
It says, hey, I see who you are. I'm paying attention to you with no hidden agenda at this point. It doesn't mean you can't have a goal later. It doesn't mean you don't have a goal showing up to networking events. What it means is I'm observing people and I'm trying to find birds of a feather. That's what it means. So when I put it in words, you strike me as, that's God's honest truth. And what's interesting is that the other 2 or 3 people saw that and leaned in, and I wasn't even looking at them. So here's what I want to put out there. It wasn't a lot of conversion from YouTube early on. It wasn't. After we started doing this and the magazine hit, it all of a sudden there was 3 people that reached out to me in the last couple of weeks, and it was from YouTube. Because I was like, where'd they find this link? This link I thought was done. And they reached out. Anyway, here's what they said, folks, and people in the audience, this is for you. They said, you are exactly who you seem to be. That was the most, like, if I couldn't even come up with it. If you said, hey, Mike, what's the most best thing someone can say to you about your business and what you're about? Yeah, that. And that, folks, that was a direct result of all the hard work, all the clarity. But I Am and Purple Buffalo getting the right, he didn't force me. She didn't force me into a bubble. They helped expand what was already working. And when that connects with people that you want to help, that you're here to serve, my goodness. And when they come to you, y'all know it's different, right? I mean, think about it. When someone comes to you to have a conversation because they read an article or they read several articles or they watched you, maybe 3 or 4 times on a podcast with a guy with a funny hat, when these things compound, I mean, and here's the fun part. Correct me if I'm wrong, professionals. You don't know how many times these people are watching, right? Because we live in a world where as soon as you click like and you say, hey, I like your stuff, you get a pitch slap, right? Like you can't even do anything. That's why a lot of folks out here, the Hounds are familiar with this now, but right, a lot of folks out here are thinking no one likes their post. No, well, nobody's watching my podcast. No, well, nobody's reading my article. They are. You know why they're not engaging quickly? Because every time they did, somebody would pitch slap. So you're dealing with their projection, right? Speak to this, Jennifer, because that's why I love this. I know when I send you somebody, when we come out here boldly and say, this is honest people helping you out, no gotchas, no gimmicks. And here's the kicker. If you're not a good fit, they're not going to take your money anyway. So what do you have to say about that? Because I want to make sure folks understand. That's what trust is, not just something we're talking about. This is why I was fearlessly involved with the first anthology. I trusted Dr. CJ beyond belief, right? So what do you have to say about that? Because there's a lot to be said for it.
Trust is a big thing. And alignment has to be right. I'm going to tell you what happened years ago. I went to visit my mom in Houston, and we were going from the airport to her house, and there was this bridge that they had built from one side and on the other side. And somehow these engineers managed to screw up, and they were misaligned completely. Here they are spending so much money on both sides of the bridge, and they were not aligned. The whole project had to be scrapped. And that is why it's so important for you to be able to align yourself with the person that you are bringing into your organization, bringing into your arm, because you want to invest on something that aligns with your views, that aligns with your mission, with your vision, that has the same mentality of service. For me, service is a big thing. And you know this, Mike, I always tell you, how may I serve you? How can I serve you? For me, service is a big thing in my life. So I want to find other people, similar souls that are also in the service, without thinking, okay, what am I going to get from this person first?
Right.
You know?
Did you watch our podcast? Because that's exactly what we said. It's because
yes.
it's true. Yeah.
So yes, that's why this anthology came to. I want this anthology to be of service. I want the people that are in this anthology not only to make it affordable for those who have never written or are in the process of writing or want to share the story, but also to give them the one-on-one training on how to write the story, a one-on-one training on how to monetize this book, a one-on-one training on how to put it on their website so they can keep their own royalties, a one-on-one training so the books becomes an ecosystem and an infrastructure, and not a decoration.
Right. And again, there's so many benefits, some obvious, some not. But one of the biggest ones is the people I've met through the experience, showing up. You do workshops, you do a lot of things. And I want to tie this back for the folks who might be popping in later before we close. There's so much that goes into it. But you ladies, you heard of squeeze the lemon, get all the lemon juice. Y'all squeeze it till it's dust. Like, there's nothing wasted. And I love that, because
and we'll use the scraps too.
Yeah. Well, this thing, that thing, I'm rubbing elbows, I'm getting to know people, and you all know, like a redneck parrot, it's the right room. That's what's important. The right room, right people, amazing things happen. That's it. Yeah. No performance. And that's why I'm like, almost every time I get in your orbit or do anything with you, I want to meet somebody. I want to amplify someone. And that's it. So if you're a shy little Nelly, you're just starting your business, maybe you're coming back, maybe you're pivoting from corporate. Yeah, Jennifer Thompson, I Am Magazine, absolutely. Maybe you don't know if you should work on a podcast or whatnot. Maybe you don't know anything about it, but you know you want to build authority. You know you want to build visibility, and you want to do that audio video. That's Bruce. So real quick, because I want to make sure folks get it. What are the couple? We'll do the speed round here. What are the biggest... What is the biggest questions or gotchas that folks should watch out for, ask, and also research? Because not to be gloom and doom, but it's very important. Because Jennifer, I'll start with you. I didn't know that if I wrote in a book and I didn't ask the right questions, or that I may not have rights to that. I can't republish it, or maybe they can put a funny mustache on me and blast it everywhere, and I have no rights to do that. So what are some of the things that people need to be, asking before they just jump on in with the popular crowd?
That is a very, very important question, is can you reuse or republish it elsewhere? Look at the fine print, because sometimes you lose the ability to publish it or republish it elsewhere. What is normal to do is when you're doing an anthology, the creator owns the whole combination of stories together. and your chapter usually cannot be used for about 6 months, 180 days more or less, after the launching of the book. After that, you can use that to create another book, to create turn it into content, talks, offers. And that's what we want to teach you, is how to use your chapter in this book to use that. So look into the fine print and ask the question, do I own my chapter? And can I reuse it? And how can I reuse it? What's the stipulations? How long am I restricted from using my own chapter? So make sure that the anthology that you are participating with owns the chapter as a combination with the other things. And that is normal. They can reprint, they can do all these things, but your chapter is your chapter. And it should never be more than 6 months, 180 days. After 180 days after the publication, and that's just for marketing purposes, so they can market the book. But after 180 days, you should be able to turn that into your own exclusive project, your own book, your own masterclass, your own whatever it is that you want to bring this to.
Right.
And that's what we want to make sure, that this is the beginning of something, not the end of your story.
I throw one in there too, again, because I think communal and authority, and I'll go to Bruce on this, but I want to know who else is in, right? And it's not a judgmental thing, but you want to make sure that your business fits, right? Cookies and milk, not 50 million cookies, same people.
Mm-hmm.
And also for me, integrity, right? It's not that I go and wand everybody with an integrity wand or something, but I want to make sure that, is this representative of what I'm about, who I am with? And so there's a lot that goes into it, but that's why I want folks, if they're even thinking. I had someone the other day, I'm not going to say who, but someone the other day said book anthology, because you can spend 60 grand on a book and still struggle on your own. Anthologies, oh my gosh, are a tiny fraction of that. And it's a great way to get started, build authority, meet people. But they said book, I said, that's it. You're going to talk to Jennifer. Like, it wasn't even almost a question. And guess what? Now they're in the anthology, but they made up their own mind. But see, that's what I'm saying. In a sea of, oh my gosh, what do I ask? Uncertainty. That was it. They knew that I would never do that unless I believed in it. And then they look, what do they see? They see me and Bruce talking about it. They go to our YouTube, they see you everywhere. And we're not going to do that if it wasn't 100% like yes, right? So Bruce, a couple things before we wrap up in a minute. What are some of the biggest misnomers or things that people regret because they didn't know to ask? Some of the things.
Are we talking about podcasting? What's the context?
Well, not hats. We've already talked about hats. We were definitely talking about podcasts. Though.
Okay, we didn't even. I mean, I did the whole scene, but neither one of you know Caddyshack.
I was going to say Caddyshack, but you did that when you were 6.
Thank you, Royce. Thank you very much. Oh, this was Smale's hat, and Rodney came busting in. Dude. And he was like, I'll take 6 of these and give me 12 of those and give me 6 of these balls and give me a dozen of those naked lady tees. And it goes, and there's a mannequin with this hat. And he goes, and this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. You must get a free bowl of soup with this. And then he turns to Ted Knight and he goes, but it looks good on you.
It does look good on you.
And he takes the hat off, he slams it, and he runs out. And that was the beginning of their experience. Another time I'll tell you about the first scene that Rodney Dangerfield ever did in a movie. It was in that one. It was that scene, but the Harold Ramis and him setting up and that scene starting was a different case. So in podcasting, what should they know? What don't they know? They don't know what they don't know. I mean, that's really, none of us know what we don't know. And that's why, if you collaborate, whether I'm on, like my clients, I'll say, do you want me to co-host with you or you got this? And Mike, we've done it both ways, right? And, what I say is, let's talk. I'll give you an example to answer this question. I had a woman call me. I was introduced by her father, and we got together last week. And she said, I have a 4-year-old autistic son. And I've been looking and looking and looking for an outlet in the community. And I don't feel comfortable, and I don't know where to find this. And I've been thinking about doing a podcast for a long time, but I don't know where to start. I don't know how to use equipment. And, I've heard really great things about you. And I said, great, let's meet. So we met and we talked for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. And before we even talked about the structure of a podcast or how much it cost or anything, we just talked about life. I wanted to understand what she goes through every day. And just all of it, and how you go from being told that your kid is autistic to going, okay, this isn't a death sentence. We'll learn how to do this. He'll learn how to do everything, and then what happened was she said, I have to do this. And we met on Monday and we spoke for 2 hours and we worked on what needed to be done before we record. And then we're meeting on Friday to finalize everything, and we'll record next week. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, let me recap this.
She came to me as the professional, and you got 2 more minutes of my time, because then I got to go make a business call.
Well, good. I'm
about
going to take
another
only 15 seconds. But that's the thing. You put a lot more work, both of you put a lot more work into this before you even get paid than I've seen people who got paid put work in. That's the new moniker. I've heard that. That's what's impressive. You sit down to see, hey, are you a good fit? Or do we need to build something before you do this? That's what you look for, folks. All the people out there, look for someone that really has your best interest at heart. And it's kind of like love, right? It's subjective, but we know it when we see it, right? It's do your due diligence, research. I don't just mean a Google search, folks. I mean, go out there, look, kind of really pick around, right? See what people are saying, and then ask the questions and take the combo. And if somebody else seems like they're more in a hurry than you and they're pushing you instead of help guiding you and amplifying, then trust your gut. If anything, April White has helped me understand is pay attention to the gut. Then after the gut says, I might want to listen, then you go out there and look for evidence, right? And you should do that anyway. But that's why I had you two on the show. You are honest. You've helped amplify. You have your own style, right? That's all I ask for. So let's do the speed round real quick. And folks, I don't see all the comments. I saw Keith Mercer showing up. Also Eco Sam, who we put up on the screen because she's awesome. Had a lot of folks. Royce, I know I'm missing some people and some LinkedIn users. I think I know who they are. I think we're going to talk soon. So here's the question. Speed round. Y'all ready?
I got to go first because I got to go.
All right. All right. A podcast converts when blank. What is it?
Podcast converts when you are real, when you're authentic, when you have a story, when you're fearless, you lay yourself bare. I'm not talking about getting naked on camera. I'm just going, hey, people relate to people. And if you will lay yourself bare and say, I'm not perfect. This is what's going on in my life. Here's what I'm struggling with. And I'll do it right now. Mike, we had a really big conversation today. And we talked about struggles in life. And I was telling you about my relationship with my girlfriend. And I said, man, it's back on track. It was really great. We learned how to fight. And guess what? And the reason I was late, we just broke up. Because she asked me to do things that I cannot do. There are things that I did in a previous relationship that I was sick. My mind was wrong. My body was wrong. And I can't do that again. And if you're going to ask me to do it, and you're not going to listen to what I have to say and my perspective, and we can't be collaborative, and you can't be honest, not even necessarily honest with me. It was about being honest with other people. And if you can't do that, I can't be in the relationship. Because when are you going to tell the truth? Because if you don't tell the truth right away,
right,
eventually you're going to get caught. And who she's trying to protect is who's going to be resentful later. And with that, folks, I love you. Thank you for having me on. I have to go. And you,
absolutely,
you know what? You told me, man, that you are going to run late tonight. So I'll catch you another time. I
It's
love
all
you.
your fault.
Thanks for
You're good,
watching,
man.
everybody.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right.
It's you
get
and I,
to be
boy.
just me and you. And that's okay because you and I chop it up 24/7. Yes. So before you pay for visibility, ask blank. What do folks need to know before you pay for visibility of any kind? Ask.
Does this build authority or is just exposure?
Wow, did you get a cheat sheet? I don't think you just know your stuff. All right, I'm gonna try to knock you off, but it ain't gonna work. All right, a strong anthology does blank.
A strong anthology turns the authors into a connected ecosystem, not just a list of names.
It really does. That's why I don't want to. I'll tell a speed round, but it really does. I love anthologies because you're connecting with so many awesome people. It's almost like a fraternity kind of thing or a sorority. You know, it really is fun. All right, authority compounds when blank. I thought I knew you were going to answer this one. I'll tell you what I thought.
Your message, a ver, hold on. A ver, you see I'm Spanishing it now. Spanglish. Authority compounds when your message stays consistent long enough for people to recognize who you are, even without context.
Can I tell you, that was a great answer. Can I tell you what I thought you were going to say?
What?
When you do it together. That's what I thought. Yeah, I know.
I love
April,
it.
April would have said that, I think. Yeah. See, no, that's good. And I won't speed around this. Last thing, because I really want to make sure people don't have more trouble than it was worth when they go to do any media, anthologies, podcast. So again, what is the very first clarifying question you think someone should ask themselves before even engaging into this? What do you think they should do to like pre-anthology? What should they do internally on their own, right? Before even going to say, this is where I'm going to spend my investment and time.
Do the right research. Don't confuse being seen with being positioned. And
that was beautiful. Okay. We can stop right. That was the cherry on top. You're right. Being seen, being noisy, being blah, 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 not the same. In fact, I'll argue, and I'm from experience and evidence, folks show up. Farmers, it takes a while for crops to grow. You can go shoot food all day, but listen, the harvest reaps year after year. So thank you, my friend, so much for what you've done, the opportunities you have given me, Hounds, and so many amazing other people that I have built relationships with. Business is getting done, right? But it's not being forced, right? You can make money, you can build relationships. They're not mutually exclusive. You could do it all. All right. So plug into IM. You'll see us doing more, much more coming up soon. And just thank you and your sister Jade for all that you have done. And I can't wait. All right, this second half of the year is going to be fire, is it not? You know, and the way you all show up, it makes it easy. Like I said, I told a friend, hey, if you're looking to write, go talk to you. No sales pitch, no stack deck, nothing. They called up all happy. I'm going to do it. Good. Right. And guess what, folks? Hey, not a shameless plug, well placed and honest. Guess what's going to happen? I'm going to do everything I can to support and amplify, and so are the Hounds. That's what it's about. So if you're out here trying to build a business, but you're also really secretly maybe that you want to build an impact, you really want to leave a legacy, hey, we're not the only place, but start here, okay? And we'll partner you in with other people. Maybe it's a better fit somewhere. Maybe you need a book anthology, who knows? But that's it. We want to make sure you're amplified and comfortable and happy. You do not need to use persuasive tactics and things. If you're feeling weird about it, don't do it. All right, there is another way. So thank you, ladies. All right, Jade is in the heart. She's still here with us, even though she's in bed. And appreciate you. So any last thing you want to share? Folks, connect with Jennifer on LinkedIn and IM Magazine. Any last words, my friend?
Yes, subscribe to the magazine. Take a look at it. Just look, Google it. I Am Magazine International. You're going to find a fantastic amount of information, incredible articles, because, remember that we are here to make sure that we inspire, empower, and transform.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm not putting this up here because I'm an attention hog. I'm putting this up here because that's my way of saying, yes, 1000%. Have the talk, have the convo. Knowing you ladies, whether it's the right time or not, it is absolutely a benefit. So thank you for all you do. Can't wait to share you with some amazing new contacts and ecosystem partners that we had just met and start working with. So thank you all in the comments. You all had a fun day. I know it's been a hard time, energy and all kind of stuff, but that's how we do it. We have a good time, not perfection. Hey, results, authenticity. Let's get it done, y'all. Next week, I will have the Redneck Connector premiere podcast will be this time. So show up. I'll be commenting. We'll be chopping it up. No, yeah, we're going to have fun, but you're going to walk away. All right. You're going to walk away with tactics that you can use yourself. And when I say tactics, I mean, hey, I feel like this. How do I communicate that and build a business? Business relationships, business marriages, not one night stand. Seems like the other camps have those tactics. We do too. So I'm going to help guide you in the things that I found and learn from lots of great people in the Hounds and everywhere else. And you're going to have those tools to go anywhere. Even if it's the wrong room, there's a one or two right people, you're going to connect with them. All right. As long as you practice. So they got the inbound. They got the place to be. I'm going to show you how to go out there and show up as your dadgum self and attract the people that you can serve and that you can partner with. So without further ado, April Wyatt, check it out. All right. I'm not touching the button. You want to run the outro? And, I won't touch it. I'll touch the end stream button. How's that? All right. Well, thank you all. Love you. More to come. Hey, check out the Hounds. Be good. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.